Welcome to the new video tutorial on Yelp data analysis. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to perform sentiment analysis and contextual analysis. First, I'll show you how to perform sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis is finding out number of positive and negative reviews for a particular business. So for doing this, first of all, we need to download the Yelp dataset, and for that, you can go to this page, Yelp Dataset Download, and click on Download Yelp Dataset. And you have to fill out all these requirements and click on Download for downloading the Yelp Dataset. And after downloading, you can find a tar file named Yelp Dataset like this, and you have to extract this twice to get the exact JSON files. So let me show you those. So these are the JSON files, and for performing this sentiment analysis, I have converted these JSON files into CSV form, and you can also do this by following this documentation. Here they have provided GitHub link where you can find JSON to CSV converter Python code, and by using this Python code and following these steps, you can simply convert your JSON file into CSV form. Now the dataset is ready. Let's move on to the coding part. So for performing sentiment analysis, I have imported few libraries like string, pandas, numpy, matplotlib, seaborn, stopwords from NLTK, count vectorizer, train, test, split, confusion matrix, classification report, accuracy score, and finally MLP classifier from sklearn. And the next step is to load the dataset. Here I am using Yelp Academic Dataset Review because this review dataset consists of the required review comments. And for this tutorial purpose, I am considering only first 3000 reviews from this dataset. And the next step is pre-processing. This is very important to remove any unnecessary characters from the review text. So first of all, I am removing the punctuation characters by using string.punctuation, and then I am lowercasing the words in this review text by using the function lower, and at last I am removing the stop words. So stop words are the words which are not much useful in a sentence. So as they are not much useful for performing sentiment analysis, I am removing those. And the next step is filtering data. This is important to only consider two types of stars here. Actually, in review dataset, we will be having 1 to 5 stars for each review, but for this sentiment analysis, we need only two types of stars, that is 1 for negative and 5 for positive reviews. And then I am assigning text, that is the review text from the dataset to the variable x, and also the stars from the dataset to the variable y. Then I am using count vectorizer here. This is used here to make a model understand the review text. And after that, I am transforming the vectorized text here and assigning to the variable x again. Then I am splitting my entire data into train and test variables by using train test split. And then I am using MLP classifier here. By using this classifier, I am going to train the model. So you can use any of other models, but this MLP classifier gave me the best accuracy for sentiment analysis. And after fitting we are predicting by using this model. And finally, I want to plot the number of positive and negative reviews by using confusion matrix. So for that I have created a function called conf matrix, and the parameters are y predict reviews, and the title as confusion matrix. Here C matrix is the confusion matrix, and this is the classification report, and I want to print the accuracy also. For that I am using accuracy score also, and after that I am plotting this confusion matrix using the show function. And finally, I am calling this conf matrix function with the actual and predicted stars, and as well as with the two labels, one for negative and 5 for positive. So coding is done. Now let's run this and see the output. So as we are considering 3000 reviews here, it will take a little more time. Yeah, it's done. So as you can see, this is the confusion matrix, and there are 305 positive reviews and 56 negative reviews in the overall first 3000 reviews of the dataset. And as you can observe here, this is the classification report. You can find precision, recall, F1 score support here, and the accuracy we got is 91%, which is really great thing. So in this way we can perform sentiment analysis, and let me stop this. Okay, fine. Now performing sentiment analysis is done, but the next step is very interesting, that is plotting all these reviews as a bubble plot. So let's move on to that. So this is about plotting. So for plotting, what is my main goal is to plot the reviews, that is uh, whatever we have performed sentiment analysis just now, all those reviews have to be plotted as a bubble plot, and those reviews have to be plotted according to the business and according to the city. So let's see how we can do this. First of all, I'm importing libraries as like CSV, string, pandas, stop words from NLTK, count vectorizer, train, test, split, and MLP classifier from sklearn. And here the main thing is we will be having reviews in the review dataset, and if we want to plot those reviews according to the business and city, we need the business name and city name exactly of that particular review, but we don't have those names and those details in the review dataset. So for that purpose we are taking the help of business dataset also. So the step is to load both the datasets, that is business dataset and also the review dataset. And for plotting, the few steps are similar according to the sentiment analysis, and you can see, as you can see, pre-processing step is also there, and filtering step is also there, and training the model is also there. And the difference is here, the main part is here. So let's say this. So here I'm using iter rows function. This is because I want to get the index value of each row. So for that purpose, I'm using iter rows, and it will give us the index value, that is the idx in file dot iter rows. And if we consider the 0th index of this idx, that is the index. And as I already told you just now, the business entity names are in the business file, and the review text in the review dataset. So there have to be some common link between these two datasets to get the exact business names for each particular review dataset. So for that, the only solution is business ID. The only common thing in both the datasets is business ID. So here in this step, I am just checking for whether the business ID in both the business and review datasets are matching or not. And when those business IDs are matched, then only I am considering the city name as well as the business name of that particular index. For that purpose, I am using this I. And then now we have extracted the exact index business name and also the review text. So now we have to transform this text and predict this text. And after predicting, if the prediction is 5, that is, if it is a positive, then I need to append reviews list with the business name and as well as the city name along with good review, the name good. And if the prediction is negative, that is, if the prediction is 1, I have to append the business name, the city name along with the review bad to the reviews list. And now the data is ready, and for plotting this I need to store all these into a particular CSV file. So for that I am creating a new file named reviews.csv in the write mode. Then only we can be able to write new data into that. And after that I am writing the header first. The first column will be name. Name in the sense combined name of business name and the city name and number of reviews. So, and the last step is from these reviews, I am going to count the number of reviews for each particular business and city. So in the Yelp dataset, one thing to remember is there may be repetitions, like there may be multiple uh, multiple times a business ID may be matched with the review ID. So that will be the confusion point in this plotting. So to avoid that confusion, I just did a trick here, that I have used a filtered reviews list here. And if the review is not previously uh, in the filtered reviews, then only it will be added to that list, otherwise it will not. And after that, I am counting the review, whatever the review I have saved, I have appended into the reviews list. I am just counting, that is how many times uh, that business name is repeated, and then I'm saving this count into a variable count. And here one more point is, in the reviews data set, in the Yelp data set, um, after performing this trick, this saving this data, each business may be having one, two, or even three number of reviews. So to just have a good clarity on this topic, I just used a trick here. That is, I'm using only number of reviews greater than 5 for any particular business. And finally, I'm saving uh, all these business and city name, and as well as the review, number of reviews, to the data variable, and from this I'm writing this to reviews.csv file. So now let's run this. Yeah, it is completed. So as you can see, from the first 3000 reviews, we have got this data. So let's move on to the bubble plot. So for plotting this, I have imported pandas, and I'm using the plotly library, that is plotly.express SPX, and I'm loading the data which we have stored just now, that is reviews.csv, and I'm creating an empty list here, filtered data, for storing the filtered data. So as you can observe here, there are many characters uh, which are not much useful, and which makes the plot little bit clumsy. So I just want to remove this. So for that, I'm using the replace function. I'm removing all these characters. And the B, you can think, what is this B? Actually, in the Yelp data set, you can find in each row uh, there will be a prefix B. So I'm just removing that also. So after filtering the data, I'm again updating my CSV file, that is data, with this filtered data. And then next, I'm creating a empty list as city and review type and business name. And now I am splitting the data to get the separate business and city names. So as you can observe in this review.csv file, I am separating the file names uh, with the symbol minus. So I'm splitting the data with the exact symbol, and the first one will be the business name, that is, this is the business name, and the second one will be, the 0th index will be the business name, and the index 1 will be the city name, and the final one will be the type of review, that is whether it is a good or bad review. And after splitting this data, I'm again updating my data, that is CSV file, with this new data, that is business name to the new business name column, and city to the city column, and review type to the review type column. And next comes the main part, that is plotting. So for plotting, I'm using scatter 3D from this plotly.express. So the data is my data CSV file, and X label will be my business name, and Y label will be city, and Z will be number of reviews. So Y3 columns, Y3 axis is, this is a scattered 3D plot, 3 dimensions. So I'm using X, Y, and Z. And hover data. This is because when I move cursor onto a particular bubble, it should show me the type of review, whether it is a good or bad review. And the title is Yelp reviews, and size is the bubble size in the plot, and I'm setting it according to the number of reviews. And then size max. Size max is the maximum size of bubble, and the color is I'm setting according to the city, the variation of the color, and you can even set it to the business name also. And finally, by using show function, I'm displaying the output. So let's run this and see the plot. As you can observe here, this is really a beautiful plot, and when you hover on a bubble, you can get information like the city name, business name, number of reviews for that particular business, and as well as the type of review, good, like this. And you can just move it on like this and view it from any of the dimension. So like this, bubble plot is completed. So let's move on to the second part of our tutorial, that is contextual analysis. So before going to the contextual analysis, let me tell you one thing. So while performing sentiment analysis, what we have done is matching the business ID from both the business and review datasets. So for a little bit of tasks, it is fine, but while performing uh, huge task, and while moving on to more number of tasks, it is very difficult for a person uh, every time to match these IDs. So as a solution for this, I am going to merge these two data sets by using this program. So let's see how we can merge this. I'm using the only library, that is pandas, and as I am using both the business and review data sets, here I want to merge those files only. So first is the business and the second one is a review, and you can observe here I am using JSON files only, not the converted CSV files. So you can load these JSON files by using read JSON from pandas. And after loading the dataset, you can drop some columns. Actually, for performing the sentiment and contextual analysis, I need only few columns, and many of the columns are not necessary for me. So I'm just dropping out all those columns, and I'm mentioning all those headings here, the headers here, and by using drop function I'm dropping all these columns. And the main part is restaurants categories. So there are many categories in this Yelp dataset, like restaurants, hair salons, beauty parlors, hotels, and many others. So, but for performing contextual analysis, I'm just considering only restaurants one. And next, I am using chunk size here. Actually, this is because uh, Yelp dataset consists of billions of reviews. So if I uh, load the entire thing at a time, it will be a burden to the memory. So to avoid that, I am doing it by step process with the chunk of 5 lakhs at a time. So here the merging is done, and similarly, uh, similar to the business data set, for the review data set also, I am dropping the columns which are not useful for my contextual analysis. And also there are uh, stars column in both the business and review data sets. So to avoid the confusion, I am just renaming stars column in the review dataset as review stars here. And now I'm using merge function from pandas for merging the business data and the chunk. The chunk is the part of the review dataset. And the merging has to be done based on the business ID only. And finally, I'm appending all these merged data to chunks list. And after completing this merging, it should print me completed merging. And the final data set is concatenating all these chunks with few attributes like ignoring index and joining outer, and the access will be 0. And if you want to see how the final data set looks like, you can just do it by using dot head function. So by using final dataset dot head, you can just view a few columns of the final dataset. And at last, I am uploading and updating all these merged data into a single CSV file, that is Yelp reviews restaurants categories. So let's run this. Yes, you can see here it is showing the first 5 columns, sorry, the first 5 rows of filtered dataset. So let's perform contextual analysis. So what is contextual analysis is? Contextual analysis is about finding the reason behind a particular review. Actually, while performing sentiment analysis, we got the output as whether a particular text is positive or negative. But we don't know why people or customers are giving such particular reviews, and also we don't know the reason behind that. So to solve this issue, contextual analysis came into picture. Uh, so for performing this, I have imported few libraries. Let's have a look on them. First is the CSV and NLTK, string pandas, word tokenize from NLTK, stop words from NLTK, MLP classifier, train, test split, and finally count vectorizer from skli. So let me close this one. Okay, fine. Contextual analysis is somewhat similar to sentiment analysis only. So the pre-processing and filtering steps are similar to the sentiment analysis, and also count vectorizing, splitting the data, and training the model. All these are exactly same as in the sentiment analysis. And the next step, the important step, is saving the required text. Saving the required text for each particular business. So for a particular business, what is the exact text? For that, we are going to this step. And here again, I'm using iteros function for the index purpose. And then I am saving the business name and the review text for that particular index. And also I am transforming this review text and predicting it using the model. And I'm saving the first most prediction to the predict variable. And if the prediction is 5, that is if it is a positive review, then I am saving the data, that is the business name along with the review text, to the pause comments list. Or else if it is a if the prediction is a negative, that is if it is equal to 1, then I need to save all these business name and review text to the negative comments list. So in this way, the entire data set review will be saved according uh, to its business name also. And then here I am going to perform contextual analysis for positive and negative comments separately. So first, let's see for positive comments. For positive comments, to save all the contextual data, I have created a new file, that is postcontext.csv. And the header is business name positive comment. And here I am using dictwriter from CSV. And first of all, I am writing the header to the CSV file. Then comes the very important part of contextual analysis. So in the contextual analysis, what we are going to do is extracting the words which conveys the review. So in any particular text, the adjectives will let us know the quality or quantity of something. So we have to extract adjectives from the text. So for that, first we have to split the data. Actually, before saving, I have separated this with the minus symbol. So I am splitting this with the minus symbol. So the 0th index will be the business name and the first index will be the review text. So the 0th index will be the business name, and similarly here also, to avoid the repetition, to avoid that confusion, I am just checking if the business name is not already exist in the B name list, then only I will append it to the list. And after that, the first index is our review text. And the same trick I am using here for avoiding repetition. If the text is not already exist in the P comment list, then only I am appending it to the list. And for performing contextual analysis, each text has to be tokenized. So for that, I'm using word tokenized from NLTK. And after tokenizing, I want to remove any unnecessary punctuation characters from the text. So I'm using string dot punctuation here. And after that, for performing contextual analysis, I need to divide the tokenized words into bigrams. So this is because to ensure each particular set will consist of only two pairs of words. That is, for example, uh, bigram will split the text uh, into pair of two words in each set. So let's take example this as a sentence. When we apply bigrams function to this text, it will just divide the first set as word and fur, and the second set with fur and word, and the third set with word and the fourth set with in and token. Like this, the entire sentence will be divided as bigrams. Bi means two. So the sentence will be divided as set of uh, two words. So after dividing into bigrams, I need to perform post tagging. So this post tagging is necessary to extract the adjectives. We don't know actually what is the adjective and what is the noun, what is the verb in the thousands of words. So by doing this post tagging, we can um, we can extract the adjectives. So let's see, by applying post tagging method to this bigram to these bigrams, I can get the tags. And in the tags, the pattern will be, first will be the word, and the second will be its respective tag, whether it is a verb, adjective, or noun, or something else. So in a particular set, the first index will be the word, and the second index will be its tag. So I'm just checking whether the the second index, whether it is an adjective or not, because we need only adjectives for performing contextual analysis. So, so in NLTK, adjectives are represented by JJ, capital JJ. So if that particular tag is an adjective, I just want to save that particular word into this CSV file. And I'm using dict writer, and by using right row here under the business name column, I am adding the row of 0, that is the business name here. The row of 0 means the business name, and under the positive comment column I am adding tag of 0. Tag of 0 means the word which has the tag adjective. So this is done for positive comments, and similarly for the negative comments also we have saved the business name along with the negative comment. Only the difference is the negative comments list here. The process is exactly same as the positive comments. And remember to close the file after completing the use of this file. And finally, let's run this program and see the output. Yes, it's done. So as you can see, these are the reviews: business name, positive comment. These are for the positive context, and this is the business name, and this is the comment, and this is the file, CSV file for negative context. So for the same business, there may be negative comments also. So as you can see here. So let's move on to the next part. This is about plotting all these contextual words. So after performing sentiment analysis, what we have done is we have plotted using bubble plot. That is, all the reviews are plotted according to their business name and city name. And after performing contextual analysis also, we are going to plot all these as a word cloud. So for this, I have imported pandas, matplotlib, and the main thing is word cloud. So from word cloud, I have imported word cloud function and stop words. So first of all, let me show you the word cloud for negative context. So first of all, I need to load the uh, negative context CSV file, and this line is very important, and this line is important because I want to plot all the comments, whatever the comments under the negative comment section, I mean the negative comment column. So what I'm doing is I'm just joining all those comments word by word with the space and assigning all those into a variable text. And now I'm creating an instance for word cloud as word, and here I'm setting some parameters like width is 1000, height is 1000, random state as 1, and background color I am selecting black, and also color map as set to, and collocations as false, and stop words as stop words. As you know, stop words. Um, this function will remove all the unnecessary words in this context, and the dot generate will generate the word cloud with this text data. So next I'm using im show for displaying the word cloud picture, and the title is negative comments for Yelp restaurants, and I'm making the access off, and finally I'm using the command show to display the output. So let's run this. Yeah, so as you can see, these are the negative contextual words. These all these words are displayed as a word cloud here. So let's see the positive contextual words also. So let's make some changes to the code, and this is the positive comment. Then the heading should be positive. Okay, now the file is pause context or CSV. The column is positive comment and the title is positive comments for Yelp restaurants. So let's run. Okay, fine. It's great. As you can see, these are all the positive contextual words which conveys positive review for Yelp dataset. So finally it's done. Now we have completed Yelp data analysis by performing sentiment analysis and as well as contextual analysis. So hope you understand this and this will help you. And I'll provide a link for downloading Yelp dataset in the description. You can just follow that. And thank you for watching.